Yesterday, after watching Paper Phoenix's video, I went to see, my parents' grave. And I know that seems really sad and morbid and all that stuff, but the story is, my father died on Christmas Eve. And my father was extremely abusive to me. And, but by the end of his life, we had reconciled all that. And I had forgiven him, essentially. And when the family started thinking about it, and when I started thinking about it, my family used to, when the matriarch of our family was alive, my grandmother, when my grandmother was alive, and my grandparents really, my paternal grandparents, my entire family, including all my first cousins, we would have a large family gathering on Christmas Eve. And our tradition in our family was to get together on Christmas Eve. And slowly, as people began to die, when my grandparents especially, that tradition went away. The thought was that there was no better day for my dad to die. He died on the day that gathered our entire family together. And he almost guaranteed his remembrance. Because although I think of other members of my family, my grandmother and my grandfather and my father and my mother, and I think of them at various times of the year. I don't remember the date of my grandmother's death. I think it was sometime in September. I don't remember the date of my grandfather's death. I don't remember the dates. I do remember when my dad died. So it was almost serendipity, that my dad would die on Christmas Eve. And it doesn't make Christmas Eve any sadder or any happier or you know what I mean? It doesn't change Christmas Eve for us, And that's okay. I find it ironic that I made this resolve to communicate better with people who subscribe to me, who watch me. And as soon as I did that, as soon as I decided I would, reply and try to be more open, then we had this whole comment thing, which is still going on, by the way. Although somebody did find you could use the ellipsis. So overuse of the ellipsis is allowed now. I can remember getting redlined, for overuse of the ellipsis. I miss a lot of old people who don't post a lot, I miss, I look down on who I've subscribed to, and so many people are just not doing YouTube anymore. I don't know if that's because it lost its flavor or whatever. Maybe they expected too much out of it. Maybe their expectations of it were... See, my expectations are not to be popular and not to be a YouTube celebrity and all that. In fact, I've done my best to do just the opposite, to maintain my quiet corner. I do enjoy speaking with people, though, and so frequently I will seek out other people to subscribe to. Recently I've subscribed to about 10 people, because there's so many of the older people, who were around 9 months ago that are not here. What's funny is, of all the people that I subscribe to and all the people that I look at, most of them have not been there that long. They've been here maybe 3 or 4 months, and I wonder how many of those will disappear. I bought a tripod set, a tabletop and a regular tripod off of eBay. And once I get that, once it's delivered, then I'll be doing different videos and where I can set it up. This is set over there on a table. My plan is that I will finally finish the tree in the hallway, and I'll tape it as I paint it. Do a little speedy up thing if I can figure out how to speedy up stuff. I haven't completely figured out Pinnacle, and I think I'm going to have... Newt had offered me Adobe, and so I'm probably going to get that because there's more After Effects kind of things that you can do with it. I spent my Christmas money that Newt sent me. I went out when I went to the cemetery yesterday. I went with my sister to Hobby Lobby, and my plan, or my thought, was I would get some watercolors. I've never painted with watercolor. I've always done acrylic or oil, and I thought I would learn. So I'm learning watercolor, so you may get to see some of me doing that, learning watercolor. I've been feeling very creative. My creative side is awake, and so I've been wanting to do that, paint. So just a quiet vlog in the kitchen while I stare out my windows. And every time I do, my mind turns to spring. And what will I do out there this spring? Hopefully get it cleaned up. I wish I had a son, because I sure could use some help out there.